Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm in Dorset. So thanks for joining me again, and today I'm here in Dorset and I'm here to photograph this tree-lined avenue. I think they're birches. I'm no tree expert, but I think they're birches. Anyway, it's nice and quiet. It's not a soul around. It's been absolutely chucking it down with rain all day, so I left home at about lunchtime. Come down to Dorset, it's now about 7:15, something like that, and the cloud has broken up. There's a bit of movement in the cloud. There's a little bit of a breeze in the air, and I thought I'd try this location first as it's dried up. So I want to try this bit first. So let me spin you around and show you what I'm looking at. So I'm just kind of having a little look at the interplay between that cottage there, that tree in the distance, this one here, and these trees over here. So I'm going to get set up, try and find a composition, and let's see what we can make of this one. Okay, so I quite like the way that the distant tree kind of is sheltered by the tree in the foreground, but at the same time I'm trying not to overlap the trees coming down here on the right hand side of the frame. So really the only way of kind of fine-tuning the composition so that there's not much, or reducing the overlap as much as possible, is to get the tripod a bit lower. So that's my next. Okay, so I've shot that with the smaller tree under the left hand side, so I think, oh, the cloud's breaking up quite nicely now, actually, a bit of blue sky for the first time today. I'm just going to go up here a bit and move that distant tree under the right hand side of this big tree, and see if that makes a bit of a difference, and I think it probably will. I'm going to eliminate these side trees completely. Okay, so I've shot some long exposures, but the cloud is really starting to change now, and I think rather than blurring it with the movement, I'm going to try and utilize that texture. There's bits of brightness where the sun's kind of dropping down lower in the sky, and there's a bit of blue sky as well now just peeking through. The cloud's really breaking up, so I'm just going to keep on shooting and just wait for those patches, those broken patches, to disappear behind the tree, and give the sky texture where I need it. Okay, so now I've come across to this country lane, which is kind of adjacent or parallel to what I was shooting just a moment ago. So what I'm going to do now is compose a shot kind of with the country lane in it, with the trees, and I'm just going to kind of arrange the elements in the composition so that I haven't got any overlaps, and you can see those two cottages just between the trees, shooting off into the distance, into the hillside. So this is obviously going to be a landscape orientation. I think that would work best. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Maybe a little bit too much bright sky on the right hand side, but a bit of post will help that out. Okay, so time to head back to the main road, which is kind of why I'm here, and let's shoot the tree-lined avenue. I do have a little bit more directional light coming in from the right-hand side, so I'm quite keen to make the most of that. The good thing with this is that there's a bank of trees on the far right-hand side, so it does help that being there, so that the the sky is kind of removed from the composition. Okay, this photo actually reminds me quite a lot of another one I took probably about 12, 13 years ago in France, in the Languedoc region. It was the Canal du Midi, and if you kind of replace this road and mirror the image, replace this road with a canal and mirror the image, I'll put it up for you to see now. You kind of get the idea. But and that was a sunrise. So from what I remember of the shot, the side lighting from the rising sun was quite dramatic, and I've kind of got the setting sun now. So if I can get something similar, that might be quite cool. Okay, so I'm going to move down there, take some more shots. If that one's any good, I'll put it up for you to see now. Well, I've just also taken the inevitable shot from the middle of the road, shooting up the hill. And I shot that one in a 16:9 or something like that, a bit more widescreen, just to kind of emphasize the trees on each side of the road. Okay, heading back down, I think what I'm going to do now is put the longer lens on, the 70-200, and just kind of concentrate on the right hand side of the road and get that road sign in as well. Right, well, I'll put that up on the screen for you to see now, and I think it's time to call it a day. Well, good morning again, and I'm still in Dorset. This is day 2. Slept in the van overnight, and that's really proving to be worth its weight in gold. I'm really enjoying being able to be on location, ready for sunrise in places that are further away from where I live at home. And so yeah, I'm in Dorset still, and I'm here to photograph this Dutch barn. It's just coming up to sunrise, but as you can see, the cloud hasn't quite cleared from yesterday. In fact, it was raining quite a bit last night. But the weather radar app seems to suggest that the cloud and the sky might clear up a little bit about half an hour after sunrise. So that's in about 45 minutes from now, I think. So I'm just going to get set up. Yeah, it's quite an iconic shot, this, an iconic location. And so I've kind of snuck into the farmer's field, just right onto the edge, not treading on any crops or anything, just the other side of the fence from the road, really. I'm just going to have a look at what lens to use. I might use the 70-200 of this. I'm not sure yet. We'll get set up and see what I can come up with composition-wise. Okay, so I'm set up with the 70-200 now. This composition is probably around about 150, 160 millimeters. So I'm just waiting for a break in the cloud now. It's looking quite nice over here. There's just a few little bits of hints of pink on the lower levels of the cloud, and so I'm just waiting for the wind to blow that into the right place. And hopefully, you might get some improvement in what's above the barn at the moment. Obviously, because I'm using quite a long focal length for a landscape, it's quite difficult to get the bottom of the frame in focus and the barn. So I'm shooting at f/16, and I'm not going to worry too much about the grasses in the bottom of the frame being slightly out of focus. But the important thing is the tractor lines going up and past the barn. They're all in focus with the barn, so it should be okay, I think. So for some of my planning, I use this app called Windy, and it's pretty good. You can see where the current cloud is, where the forecast cloud is going to be, and also there's a weather radar as well, which was pretty useful yesterday. So so you can see where the rain showers are and things like that. So I know that where I am at the moment, it's going to be dry, and also looking at the clouds. So I'm about halfway between Salisbury and Blandford Forum in Dorset, and just near a place called Sixpenny Handley, and we're kind of right on the edge of a kind of a cloud bank. So I'm kind of hopeful that this is actually what we're seeing, and this cloud is breaking up, and we're kind of on the outskirts of it. So with a bit of patience and a bit of waiting, hopefully we might get that break in the cloud, and we might get a little bit of texture and blue sky above the barn. So it's a waiting game, patience and a waiting game at the moment. Well, it's not looking very promising. All the broken cloud seems to be right above us and not overhead the barn. So I've been pacing up and down, waiting to see if the cloud actually plays ball for quite some time now. I don't think it is, so I'm gonna stick it out for another 10 minutes, and then call it a morning, I think. Don't know. I think I've got a couple of shots that would work. There was a little break in the cloud, so there was a little bit of a burst of light. So I could use one or two of those shots, but chance of getting any blue sky is looking very slim now, I think. So I'll stick it out for another 10 minutes, and if I get lucky, or if I use those other shots with a burst of light that I took a short while ago, then I'll put those up for you to see now.